Hi, I'm Qwiklab and I'm a customer engineer at Google Cloud. This video is part B of Serverless Computing with CloudRun, where we will do a demo to showcase the developer experience of building a serverless app, then followed by the process of deploying it to the cloud, and finally the day 2 operations of logging, monitoring, error handling, traffic splitting, traffic migration, and a special use case called scale to zero. So let's dive in.
Let's look at the user stories. As an office clerk, I want to convert documents from any format to PDF so that I don't need special softwares to open them. The functional acceptance criteria is, given a bucket location in the cloud, when a set of documents, that is image, Excel, or document, is put in an upload bucket, then a new PDF document is created in a different bucket. A non-functional criteria is, given there is no one using the system, that is, the system is idle, then the cloud build should be 0 for that period of inactivity. Let's look at the application architecture. This is going to be implemented as a Node.js application with index.js as a primary file. Index is going to call a third-party child process, which is OfficeLibber. OfficeLibber is a Linux executable that basically converts any document into PDF document. I have the Google Cloud Storage APIs, that is Node APIs for inserting into the bucket and also retrieving from the bucket. Let's look into the solution architecture of GCP. Multiple documents will be put in parallelly or sequentially into upload bucket in cloud storage. Now this will trigger the message to be put into a topic. The reason we are using a pub/sub topic is to first of all cut down on the rate at which the input documents are coming. Also, because it's a topic, it's a one-to-many subscription. So we have a subscription here in the form of the CloudRun container that we are going to implement. Now, when you have a lot of load coming up, there can be multiple containers that can subscribe to this particular topic, and they can all consume those messages from the topic. CloudRun will the Node.js application will convert the document into PDF format and then again push it back into the process bucket via the GCP API for Node. So that completes our solution architecture. Let's do the code review for the main program. You will see that we have included the dependencies for cloud storage so that we can interact with the bucket. We also have the dependencies for the child process created here, because LibreOffice is going to run as a child process from this main parent process. Whenever a post request is made to the slash handle, you will see that this particular CloudRun program is going to invoke this convert file, and it will pass on the file name from the bucket. And if you look at the convert file, now this is the main meat of the program. So this is exactly where the LibreOffice command line program runs in a headless mode, takes as an input the file name, and then spits out the PDF variant of this. So it was just an executable. We are able to now convert this as a web application and make it available to everybody in this organization. Right? Once the file is processed, it will be uploaded into a new bucket, and it will also be deleted from the existing bucket. So that's pretty much the main code. What we will have to do as part of creating this application as a serverless application, our first job is to drop in a Dockerfile. And you will see that the Dockerfile is a fairly simple one. It just needs to install that LibreOffice place. So that's all we are doing. And then after that, we are running a Node program on which we are calling the index.js file. I'll quickly, briefly tell you is about this extension called Cloud Code. Now, Cloud Code is available for both IntelliJ and VS Code. Now, with Cloud Code, the developers will be able to, discover the Kubernetes environment in the cloud right from inside your IDE. So you don't have to leave the context of this IDE. You can not only do deployments to the cloud, but also test it out and then also do remote debugging. So that's quite useful here. Let's go and deploy this application to the cloud. Post authenticating your gcloud CLI, you would deploy the application with this command. You can optionally give the image registry location, whether the platform is managed, which particular region you want to run it, and also you can give specification about the memory size and if any environment variable. The CloudRun is going to read through the Docker file, and it's going to create a new revision packet, and it will also going to set the routing traffic, and then overall you would get a new HTTPS link. Let's also review the buckets. We have created 2 buckets now. We want to make sure that those buckets are empty initially. So the first is upload bucket. This is the place where new files are going to come. Let's also create the processed bucket. This is also going to be empty initially. We will also need to set up few IAM policies to make sure that the PubSub subscription is able to invoke the CloudRun service. Also at this step, we can go ahead and create our PubSub infrastructure. That is, we are going to basically create topic as well as a subscription to that topic. So yeah, so the subscription name is PDF. On executing this, you will see that the subscription is ready. It is pointing to the topic new doc, and I think we are all set. Point, we can go ahead and upload some picture or image to the upload directory, and you will see that it will automatically get converted to a PDF document and deleted from the source directory. Okay, that's gone from there, and let's go into the processed one, and there you go. You've got a PDF version of that application, which is now accessible from anywhere, and does not require any special tool to open this file. Okay, now let's look at the operation side of things. So this is the console of CloudRun. As every time you make a CloudRun deploy, it will create a new revision, and automatically the 100% of the request will get migrated to that revision by default. But in case if you want to split that between 2 different revisions, then you can do manage traffic, and it will allow you to split between n number of services based on percentage. You'll also see that there is a section for logs. That means if these containers write any logs on the standard output or standard error, then those will be visible in the logs for the pods. I've just written a simple while loop, which basically runs infinitely and keeps putting some documents into the upload folder. So we want to make sure that we have enough requests so that we can see the auto scaling. And thing is that since we have implemented a PubSub feature here, so none of these messages will get lost, right? So the CloudRun is going to pick up all those messages and start processing it. Number of request calls that happens to this particular URL from the PubSub trigger, it has increased suddenly a lot. And right now I can see 22 containers is now serving that load. So you can see between 756 and 758, within 2 minutes time, it scaled up to 22 containers. Now that's quite a very, very fast that it did it. Continue to monitor this. You will see that the CPU, the memory has almost peaked up because we have only given 512 MB. So this is where we can go back and make another revision in which we increase the number of memory from 512 to, let's say, 2 GB of RAM. So that is possible because we still have a lot of headroom, because the maximum number of cores that it supports is 4 vCPUs and 8 GB RAM. If at some point in time no one is utilizing your infrastructure, then you absolutely don't get charged for it, and that is also because there is a per second billing that happens.